Hello, everyone, and welcome to Upper St. Clair Panther Baseball here on your local cable access channel, where today the Upper St. Clair Panthers will play host to the Bethel Park Blackhawks. I'm Keith James. Along with me is Dan Ravishak, and we're looking at a pretty good day for baseball. It was sunny earlier. It is dry right now. Some clouds are moving in, but the threat of rain, Dan, is away from us, and the threat of a good baseball game with a great rivalry is right in front of us between Upper St. Clair and Bethel Park.
Absolutely, I agree, Keith. This is an early matchup. Two very good teams. I look forward. They got two lefties going today. It should be very, very interesting.
And the lefty that you're looking at on your screen is number 19, Tim Leckenby. Tim is a senior, and his battery mate is Ian Frazier. Tim is looking to pitch as well as he did, as Upper St. Clair had a nice start to their season with a road swing down south where they were 3-1, Dan. This is a pretty good competition down south.
Absolutely. I was fortunate to be able to make the trip down there. They were playing some Quad A teams, very, very good teams, and they saw some really good pitching. And more importantly, they saw some lefty pitching, and that's really going to help them out in this game today.
Right, and they've already seen lefty pitching. They saw it against Erie McDowell in their last game here on Saturday. Also last Friday, they saw a lefty in Baldwin Whitehall at least to start the game. So I think we're going to see a lot of that, and it'll be challenging for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Also challenging today, the Bethel Park Blackhawks. They came into this game just roaring with offense. They're 7-0, and they have outscored their opponents 59-15 so far, Dan.
Wow, should be a good game.
Yeah, should be a good game. Defense is going to be the key. And we are ready to play ball here at Boyce Mayview Field. Corey Lazor, the center fielder, is first up, and the first pitch of the game from Leckenby is on the outside corner, just off the plate. And that is ball one. Tim, a tall, lanky senior. He has been pitching since he was about 2 feet tall, I think. Another ball out and away, and it's quickly 2-0.
Tim is trying to get his fill here, and usually takes a batter or two to get into your groove.
Well, again, it is still early in the season, the first section matchup, as that ball goes inside, just missing the plate on the inside corner, and it's quickly 3-0. And of course, you also have to wonder, Dan, if they're going to be a little extra caution, knowing that this Bethel Park team not only is a great rival, but they come in here playing so well.
Absolutely.
And a quick leadoff walk with 4 straight pitches. And Lazor is on. And that'll bring up Jake McCall. McCall playing right field today. Number 13 for the Bethel Park Blackhawks. Right away, Tim has to work the stretch. Here's the pitch. That one misses high. I think we got some nerves going on
Absolutely.
out there just a little bit, but that is understandable. Tell you what he doesn't have to worry about is that defense behind him, and we'll set that for you in just a moment. As Leckenby again looks and delivers to Frazier. This ball, just misses inside. And Ian Frazier's going to take a moment and go out and talk to him. And while he does, Dan, why don't you set that Upper St. Clair Panther defense for us?
A very, very good defense. Starting out in left field, we have Anthony Pizzone. He's a junior. Adam Kraski's in center. He has incredible speed. Back to the action here.
Yeah, indeed. Ben Haas in right. And we'll set that infield for you in just a second. Here is the 2-0 pitch, and that one, conversation with Ian Frazier is always meaningful, and that ball comes right down the pike. It is 2-1. Again, leadoff walk, Lazor game just getting underway here at Boyce Mayview Field. And Tim Leckenby delivers right back to him. Runner moving, so they won't get that one. That'll be a nice comebacker fielder's choice. And there's one away.
And I'll tell you what, there's a reason why Ian Frazier is one of the captains. He has a very calming effect on some of the players, and he really knows how to motivate them.
No question at all. Ian Frazier, a senior, looking at a college scholarship to play baseball as well. His father tells me he hasn't quite made up the decision yet, but he's probably headed in that direction. So, one away, man on second. Here's Leckenby's offering. That one, nice. Settled down right in the zone. And at the plate, Logan Corrigan. And he's the counterpart for Mr. Leckenby here on Bethel Park. Logan is the pitcher for today for BP.
Oh, beautiful pitch.
Nice
beautiful
strike.
pitch.
Now Tim has got those nerves settled down, and he is quickly ahead 0-2 here against Corrigan. Laser leading off just a little bit. Right behind him is the shortstop, Eric Krolzik. Pop up, left-hand side, right near third base. Joe Conlon grabs that ball, light breeze, and Joe's got it.
Can of corn, no problems. Down.
All righty. Now we're looking at Ryan Dodson coming up in the order. Ryan Dodson with a brother who was playing for Bethel Park and now has another direction going. So 2 out, man on second.
Oh.
Pitch just outside. Just a little bit outside. Ryan Dodson operating as the designated hitter today for Bethel Park. That ball fouled off, back to the screen. Nice breeze today. Nothing like the past 2 home games here at Upper St. Clair where there was stiff wind blowing that affected the balls going to right field. Today it looks like it's coming in just a little bit, Dan.
Absolutely. You know, the Spartanburg weather was actually colder than the weather this weekend.
Was it really?
Yes, it was.
Wow, wow, wow. There's a ball hit to right. Ben Haas going back. Looks like he has a bead on it.
Excellent.
And he has it for out number 3. So, after a
go.
leadoff walk, Tim Leckenby settles down. The Panthers get their shot coming to bat. And we'll have the bottom of the first in just a moment. So here we are in the bottom of the first inning, and the Upper St. Clair Panthers will send their leadoff hitter to the plate. And that's Joel Klein in the lineup today for Upper St. Clair, Dan.
Okay, it's batting second is Gannon Rooney. Batting third is Ian Frazier. Batting cleanup is Joe Repishak. Fifth is Eric Krolzik. Anthony Pizzone, Joe Conlon, Ben Haas, and Adam Kraske.
All right, there's that lineup. We trust that'll be the case. The Bethel Park lineup shifted on us. Joel Klein takes a look at a ball. As again, that's out on the mound, Logan Corrigan pitching for the Blackhawks. That ball fouled back.
Joe Klein also is the other captain. Typically, he has been our leadoff hitter. Usually get a good jump out of him.
Joel, one of the few players to have played since he was a sophomore here in the varsity squad for the USC Panthers. That ball looking to be right on that outside corner. Right on that outside corner. Plate umpire Tom Husser says strike 3. So Joel Klein goes down looking. And that'll bring up Gannon Rooney. And he has some punch in his bat.
Gannon is red hot right now.
I believe he had a pair of triples against Baldwin Whitehall. He looks like a big break and put pitch from the left-hander. Now he's looking at trying to put a little bat on the ball. That ball on the inside corner. I will notice that the movement coming out of Corrigan just seems a little strange. Maybe it's that left-hander look that makes it
there
so
you
tough.
go.
But there you go.
He's staying hot.
It is not difficult at all for Gannon Rooney. That's a nice base hit, so there's a little action in the first hit of the game.
Very good at bat. That was a breaking ball, and he sat on it and drove it right to left field.
Well, head coach Jerry Malarkey out at third base now is giving some signals, and with Ian Frazier at the plate, it is rare that you'd see him bunt, but he has the talent to do that. One away, Gannon Rooney at first. This ball right up the middle, right over to shortstop. Rooney has to hustle to get back.
Oh!
He is not back in time. A little bit too anxious there. He thought that ball was well hit, was going to go through, but that makes for a nifty little double play, and that makes for a wrap-up of inning number 1 with no score either way. We'll be back with the top of the second in a moment.
I just roll.
Well, there's a strike pitch to David Lemley, who is leading off now for the Bethel Park Blackhawks. Again, no score here Top of the second at Boyce Mayview. There's a chopper right over to Klein. Easily handled. Over to Repeshak at first.
Routine play.
And there is one away. And
Filling
it's a routine play for that infield.
That's right. And filling out that infield, it's Joe Conlon in third. Eric Karolzik is at short. Joel Klein, who just made a great play at second, and Joe Repeshak at first. On the mound is Tim Luckenby. And behind the plate is Ian Frazier.
All right, here comes one of the Forsyth boys. This is Dakota, a brother combination for Bethel Park. Luckenby pitches, and the ball that gets inside and away from Ian Frazier all the way back to the backstop. Quick one out here in the top of the second.
A little bit of overcast, but other than that, what a great day today.
This is just enough nice light. Give us a good picture here in high definition. That pitch is up and away. Again, Tim Leckenby on the mound. There's a pop-up. That's headed out towards Adam Kraske land. Haas coming over, and Adam Kraske takes that ball as it started to move away from him.
It did.
Nice catch, though.
Tailed right back over his right shoulder, and he handled it very well.
Now, that breeze is a little funny. The flag has been blowing in a little bit and out a little bit, and it's been moving around right in that area where that ball was hit. But nonetheless, that is a fly out. Out number 2, and here's Ryan Kogler. Kogler looks at ball 1. Plate umpire Tom Hussar. Out in the field, Justin Murphy today. Straightaway defense for Upper St. Clair. Leckenby's pitches off the plate. That makes it 1-1. The pitching depth, I think, would be, if people have watched the Upper St. Clair Panthers over the years, would be the question mark this year, since this is a junior-rich team, Dan. It's
Absolutely.
Changed, the makeup of the team's changed a lot from last year to this year.
They have a strong core of juniors that could very easily step right in here and start. They're, if you look back on their history, their sophomore, freshman year, they were literally almost undefeated. Unfortunately, they have a solid core of seniors in front of them, so they're chomping on the bit to get out there, and the program is in very good shape.
Well, I know last year, which was a very talented team last year, with there's a chopper to Joel Klein. Up and over, easily handled, and that's out number 3. We'll pick up the conversation when we come back right before the Upper St. Clair Panthers come to bat here at the bottom of the second. Keith James with Dan Repeshak saying, don't go anywhere. So Joe Repeshak, the first baseman, is going to come up to the plate, and his father, Dan, is at my side, and all I can say for you is, given the size of him, I hate to see your food bill at your house, Dan.
I think I grew another inch over the weekend.
Swinging a nice breaking pitch there from Logan Corrigan.
I'll tell you what, the one thing I want to say is it was really nice last inning having the batters right out of the box hitting this pitcher. He's one of the better in the WPIAL, and it's good to see that we're swinging the bats.
Well, lots of swings, and that'll be a key to beating this club. Not only good gloves, of course, to keep their strong offense at bay, but you've got to be able to put the bat on the ball to score in any game, particularly when you're playing a team like Bethel Park. Corrigan's offering now is just off the plate. And Joe, you know, the thing that I think has impressed me about Joe is how strong his glove play is at first base as he goes down swinging at a big breaking pitch.
Tell you what, Corrigan, the thing that makes him so good is his fastball and his changeup look identical. He releases the ball from the top down, and you don't know if you're looking at a fastball or a changeup.
Well, obviously he fooled Joe in just a moment, but can he fool Eric Krolzik? Eric playing shortstop today, starting at short. he's capable of playing third. He's actually capable of playing second, but he usually stays on that side. Gets good wood on the ball. That ball could split the gap, and it does. It's going to be at least 2 for Eric Krolzik. And it looks like he's being waved to third. He is. The throw coming from behind him, and he is in there.
Excellent.
Eric Krolzik hits the gap, turns on the gas, and gets a nice triple.
That's senior leadership.
I don't think there was any question with Jerry Malarkey when he saw how far that ball went to the screen that he was going to bring Eric around second. The question was whether he had enough speed with the good arms to get there, and he did.
Jerry has a tendency to be conservative, early in the game, but he really let him go on that one.
And now here's a young man with a nice bunt, Anthony Pizzone, and they have hung up Krolzik now between home and third. He's going to try and stay alive, and as he tries to come home, he gets tagged down. Alertly off the bunt, Anthony Pizzone goes to second base. There's two down on that fielder's choice play.
It was a gutty call. This early in the game, you want to get a run. And kudos to Jerry for calling that play.
And Bethel Park executed the rundown very cleanly. Again, heads up, Anthony Pizzone on second. And Pizzone's going to go to third as this ball gets past Chad Brown.
I'll tell you what, Chad's doing a fantastic job. Kurgan has some really off-speed curveballs coming at him, and he's doing a fantastic job blocking.
And I don't know if we mentioned, but it's Joe Connellan at the plate now. Joe playing third base today.
Joe is due.
And Joe is due. He got the bat on the ball in the last couple of games, but didn't seem to go anywhere. Here's a chopper. Corrigan's going to come up with it. He'll go to first. He fires to first and gets that third out. So a little excitement with that triple from Eric Krolzik, but no score. And at the end of 2, it's Bethel Park, zip. Upper St. Clair, nothing. We'll be back in a moment. So top of the third now, and Zach Forsyth, the brother of Dakota Forsyth, will lead it off for Bethel Park as we have a scoreless duel going on here. Tim Leckenby with a windup and the delivery chipped away by Forsyth. How much fun must it be to play with your brother?
Exciting. I'll tell you what, the Forsyth family are rich in baseball. This kid is a player. He is seasoned. He plays in the summer leagues. He definitely wants to play post-high school.
All right, here's Tim Leckenby, who's ahead now off that foul ball. He throws, but he can't coax him with that outside pitch. Zach playing second base today for Bethel Park.
I'll tell you what, the umpire is favoring that inside corner, that strike zone. I hope Tim realizes that.
Well, he's squeezing the plate, too, a little bit. Tim trying to work the outside and get him to go out and dive after it. Lots of times with a player who's squeezing the plate, that's what they're looking to do. They're looking to go out and dive and maybe hit that ball the other way. So far, no good. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a chip away to even things up. That's all right. Now we have a pitcher's count. And on deck, Harry Sewick. There's a chopper right to Conlon. He swallows it up, gets a long bullet over to Joe Repeshak. That's why he is at third base, and they're quickly recorded an out here for the Upper St. Clair Panthers.
There was no doubt about it.
All right, here comes their third baseman, Harry Sewick. Am I saying that correctly, Dan?
Yeah,
that's what it looks like, S-I-W-I-K. And Harry, if I'm not, my apologies. He looks at a pitch, holds up, checking the swing in time.
I think he was checking the swing, but I thought it was a strike.
Well, plate umpire Tom Hussar said, no way. That goes up as a 1-0 count. Quickly 1-1 with that foul ball. Well, it's interesting to see some of these young men that you've watched for years at several levels from the time they were 7, 8. and some of them. Chad Brown comes to mind. He was on a couple of teams that I managed, but you watch these guys come up and gel, and then to have the great rivalry that these two teams have make games like this a lot more fun.
You know, you see these guys on their travel teams because all these guys have played on their travel teams. I remember seeing these guys at the Cooperstown when they were 12 years old.
And now here they are at Boyce Mayview Field in a scoreless duel. That pitch just inside, but hits that high inside corner.
He is calling that.
And Tim has brought that even at 2-2 and also pushes that batter, Swick, off the plate just a little bit. Got to take ownership of home plate. 2-2 delivery, and it's going to go full. Ian Frazier blocking the ball in the dirt. Now that infield, again, Conlon at third, Krolczyk at short, Klein at second, and Repishak at first. Solid. Just missing low.
Wow.
Ball 4, and that is a second walk given up by Tim Leckenby. He had a leadoff walk which went nowhere.
He's starting to hone in on the strike zone, though. That just missed.
Indeed it did. All right, Corey Laser at the plate now, and he had the first walk.
That's right. I think that was his fake throw over. I think he's got. I've seen him. He's got a quick whip. I've seen him get some kids last year.
That ball outside. Tip has been working outside the plate quite a bit, particularly to the right-handed batters. Center fielder Corey Laser looking to move his teammate around with a 1-0 count. That ball up, out to right field. You can tell right away Ben Haas has it zeroed in. Nice catch. And there are quickly 2 down. And Jake McCall will be headed to the plate.
It's a big out.
Well, that helps the threat, that's for sure, and keeps that runner in that force-out situation, Dan, which is what you want earlier in the game. Of course, this is good. This has all the makings of one of those games where one run's going to be huge. McCall now at the plate. He gets set with Leckenby. Inside.
There we go.
A bullet right at Joe Conlon, and the Upper St. Clair Panthers get out of a mini jam with that walk. No score. They're looking to come to bat. And
time to get the sticks out.
Yeah, get the sticks and see if they can't hit and get a little something off Corrigan. We'll be back with the bottom of the third here from Boyce Mayview Field in just a moment. All righty, here we go with Ben Haas to lead things off here for Upper St. Clair in the bottom of the third, followed by Adam Kraske, and then top of the lineup, Joel Klein will come out, and they'll be facing Logan Corrigan of Bethel Park. You talk about someone who can put the stick on the ball, that's Ben Haas. As he looks at a breaking pitch coming in at strike 1. Corrigan sets and delivers, and he gets him fishing outside. Ben is not happy with himself.
Corrigan has a tendency, he'll throw a setup pitch. He just wants to get ahead. And once he gets ahead, then he can start playing with some of his off-speed stuff.
Well, and everybody who knows baseball knows that statistic of first strike. And that's a big bonus if you get that first pitch, first strike for a pitcher. That pitch, however, was high, and it is 1-2 now. Ben Haas on the defense. Chopper over towards third. Can he hustle? And he does. Ben Haas lugs that little chopper.
Way to leg it out, Ben.
That is good hustle. So we're going to take a nice infield hit there for Ben Haas. That'll be the third Upper St. Clair hit of the game.
I tell you what, it almost looked like Swick could have made that play. and he elected to let the shortstop take it.
Well, it's perhaps Dakota Forsythe called him off, thinking maybe he had a better angle on the ball. I'm not so sure, but the ball was hopping. There's a nice bunt by Adam Kraske.
Oh.
He's got speed. He's going to make this tough at first.
Oh.
He is just barely out, but that sacrifice bunt, that sac bunt moves Adam Kraske, or Ben Haas over, excuse me.
I'll tell you what, Kraske, he is probably one of the better bunters on the team. He really can eye it and move it to the left or move it to the right. Very successful in the last play.
Joel Klein at the plate now, looking at an RBI opportunity, and Joel can hit the ball. And he has seen Logan Corrigan just a few times over the years. That's Ben Haas at second. Again, he had that infield single to start the inning. Again, just a little action on the ball coming off the hand of Logan Corrigan.
Usually when you're going up against a pitcher of the quality of Corrigan, you might have a tendency to be a little late, and that's why you're seeing a lot of balls being driven to the right side of the field.
Well, again, that's look for the fastball and adjust for the breaking pitch, but you just don't know. He's got such a repertoire. Joel Klein, good eye. Staying on the ball with contact. Now he's got to watch for the breaking pitch as he's down 0-2.
That's right. Time to protect. Choke up a little bit and just watch for that breaking stuff.
No score. We are in inning number 3, the bottom thereof, with the Panthers hosting Bethel Park. Here's Corrigan's offering, and again, this one is fouled away. Joel Klein will not go quietly if he's going to go at all. His intention is to get an RBI. Notice the outfield in.
Absolutely.
It's pretty interesting because Joel can drive the ball, and they're giving up a lot in the gap by coming in. Of course, it'll still only cost him 1 run with only 1 runner on base. That pitch is way outside. That's a credit to Logan Corrigan with all the pitches he's thrown so far, Dan. That was the worst pitch he's thrown. He's thrown a lot of good stuff right around the plate. That one was just off, just enough. 1-2 now to Joel Klein. He steps out. Corrigan taking a long time. Tom Hustler, the plate umpire, says, let's take a pause. Now we come set. Everybody's in place. The windup and the pitch. And that misses outside.
I'll tell you what, maybe that pause on that last pitch maybe took him a little bit out of the rhythm on that last pitch.
Might have. We'll find out here. It's a 2-2 offering coming up from Corrigan. Jerry Malarkey at third base, keeping an eye on the guys behind Ben Haas. That ball's looking to go down the line, but it's going to curve out foul down towards the batting cages.
I'd say Jake McCall out there in right field is getting a good workout. He's running to the foul line several times, being peppered with some foul balls coming his way.
I guess it's not surprising to say that Joel Klein has just kind of great command of his bat. Laid down a beautiful bunt against Baldwin Whitehall a couple of days ago. Good hustle made it happen. And now he's looking to make something happen here. 2-2. And timeout as Chad Brown is going to go out and talk with his pitcher. And a little discussion, a little strategy here about what to throw. They want to make sure that they get it right. Because again, we got that feeling, Dan, this run, this game has that 1-run feel. All right, Corrigan is set. Right up the middle.
Great play.
What a great at-bat. Here comes Ben Haas, and he's going to be held. He is going to be held by Jerry Malarkey as Corey Lazor, with that pulled-in outfield, got to that ball very quickly. And he's got a very strong arm. Jerry Malarkey knew it.
With one out, why chance it? You got the hottest bat on the team for Upper St. Clair coming up. Let him answer here and let him drive these batters in, these runners in right now.
All right, well, Joel Klein gets it done, and with his hustle, he is a threat to steal with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. And Gannon Rooney is here, again popping a couple of triples against Baldwin Whitehall. He's had a hot bat of late.
I would say that high hard one was well in the 80s right there.
Well, missing the top of the zone, and as does that one. And now Gannon Rooney has an advantage at 2-0 Logan Corrigan does not want to get far behind.
I think Logan was a little shook up from that last hit.
Maybe so, and it's warm enough today that you could start to wonder if maybe just a little tiredness starts to get in, and the heat, because we haven't had much heat lately. This is another one away, and it's a quick 3 straight balls.
That's right. You said quick. It seems like he's rushing his motion.
Now the question,
a little off his game, possibly.
Yeah, the question now is whether or not Jerry Malarkey lets Gannon Rooney have a green light here at 3-0. And he doesn't have to. That is ball 4, and that will load the bases with another hot hitter coming to the plate.
That's right. We got some power coming up.
And Ian Frazier, who knows what to do with men in scoring position. Ducks are on the pond, and there's a little timeout conversation going to happen here, as Bethel Park wants to make sure that they know what they're doing. The infielders are looking now at a tough situation with 1 out. And you know, with the speed that Ben Haas has, he'll get a nice lead and a good jump at third. Right. Any contact that Ian Frazier puts in play, we're going to be looking at a real hustling situation here.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is another situation where Jerry, over the past couple of games, has actually bunted in this situation. You got a speedster in third, you got a speedster holding the bat. Maybe it's fresh in our mind because he's done it a couple times already.
Well, and Ian Frazier, to his credit, is the player who not only can get you a big hit, but he also has the talent to lay down the correct bunt. And we're looking at Harry Sewick coming in now almost to the grass at third base. Over at first base, David Lemley is also in on the grass, as they're looking to choke off what could be a big run if it's allowed to develop. Frazier steps in.
Ian loves this situation. He is a rural gamer here.
He's a competitor. He's a warrior. He is a baseball player. Now there's just enough nerves out there. Logan Corrigan wants to step off.
And the guy on deck is itching to get in there as well.
That would be the other thing, is that you want to try and get it out. There's a ball that gets away from Chad Brown, but only outside of the batter's box. We're going to be very cautious on pitches like that. Here at Boyce Mayview, if there's anything behind him, there's lots of room to run, because that ball will roll all the way to the brick backing. 1 out. Corrigan now.
There we go.
Right up the middle, Ian Frazier, big hit, 1 run will score. Here comes Kraske. He's going to have a play at the plate. No, he is going to score. Excuse me, that's Joel Klein. And excellent. Ian Frazier alertly goes to second, and Upper St. Clair is quickly up 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. Ian Frazier with a nice hit and a pair of RBIs as a result, and then alertly goes over to second base. And as the catcher, he's going to come out. We'll get a courtesy runner in for him. That is just the formula that was needed, Dan, for this tight ball game.
I know Joe is excited to improve on this lead right here.
All right,
Joe has some power.
All right, that runner will be Thomas Steve, and he's going to get a little conversation quickly from Jerry Malarkey, or maybe a reminder that there's 1 out. Don't do anything foolish, because Joe Repeshak is at the plate.
That's right.
And we could have a big inning. Although I got a feeling, again, in this game, as tight as this is, and the rivalry, 2-0 might be a big inning. Here's the pitch outside. Corrigan seems to have lost a little bit of control.
I think he's going to lay one right in here now. He needs to get ahead. He's struggling, and Joe is chomping at the bit. He wants to hit it far, drive in a run. Let's see a ribby here.
With the drawn-in infield, he hits it hard. He's got a chance, and he hits it hard to Sewick. Sewick has to look at the runner and then makes a great throw to get the out at first. That was good feeling by Harry Sewick. Very strong. And it doesn't get much easier for Corrigan as Eric Krolzik steps to the plate now. Eric Krolzik with a nice triple, and then also I was just thinking back to the nice RBI hit he had against Erie McDowell Oh,
No.
he didn't want to hit that one, but he did, and that goes right out to Zach Forsyth. But it ends the
Good inning.
in a positive way as the Upper St. Clair Panthers scored 2, and they leave 2, and they lead 2-0. Top of the 4th coming up. Don't go away. All righty, here we go with Ben Haas to lead things off here for Upper St. Clair in the bottom of the 3rd, followed by Adam Kraske, and then top of the lineup, Joel Klein will come out, and they'll be facing Logan Corrigan of Bethel Park. You talk about someone who can put the stick on the ball, that's Ben Haas. As he looks at a breaking pitch coming in at strike 1. Corrigan sets and delivers, and he gets him fishing outside. Ben is not happy with himself.
Corrigan has a tendency, he'll throw a setup pitch. He just wants to get ahead. And once he gets ahead, then he can start playing with some of his off-speed stuff.
Well, and everybody who knows baseball knows that statistic of first strike. And that's a big bonus if you get that first pitch, first strike for a pitcher. That pitch, however, was high, and it is 1-2 now. Ben Haas on the defense. Chopper over towards 3rd. Can he hustle? And he does. Ben Haas lugs that little chopper.
Way to leg it out, Ben.
That is good hustle. So we're going to take a nice infield hit there for Ben Haas. That'll be the 3rd Upper St. Clair hit of the game.
I tell you what, it almost looked like Swick could have made that play, and he elected to let the shortstop take it.
Well, it's perhaps Dakota Forsyth called him off, thinking maybe he had a better angle on the ball. I'm not so sure, but the ball was hopping. There's a nice bunt by Adam Kraske.
Oh.
He's got speed. He's going to make this tough at first.
Oh.
He is just barely out, but that sacrifice bunt, that sac bunt moves Adam Kraske, or Ben Haas over, excuse me.
I'll tell you what, Kraske, he is probably one of the better bunters on the team. He really can eye it and move it to the left or move it to the right. Very successful in the last play.
Joel Klein at the plate now looking at an RBI opportunity, and Joel can hit the ball. And he has seen Logan Corrigan just a few times over the years. That's Ben Haas at 2nd. Again, he had that infield single to start the inning. Again, just a little action on the ball coming off the hand of Logan Corrigan.
Usually when you're going up against a pitcher of the quality of Corrigan, you might have a tendency to be a little late, and that's why you're seeing a lot of balls being driven to the right side of the field.
Well, again, that's look for the fastball and adjust for the breaking pitch, but you just don't know. He's got such a repertoire. Joel Klein, good eye. Staying on the ball with contact. Now he's got to watch for the breaking pitch as he's down 0-2.
That's right. Time to protect. Choke up a little bit and just watch for that breaking stuff.
No score. We are in inning number 3, the bottom thereof, with the Panthers hosting Bethel Park. Here's Corrigan's offering, and again, this one is fouled away. Joel Klein will not go quietly if he's going to go at all. His intention is to get an RBI. Notice the outfield in.
Absolutely.
It's pretty interesting because Joel can drive the ball, and they're giving up a lot in the gap by coming in. Of course, it'll still only cost him 1 run with only 1 runner on base. That pitch is way outside. That's a credit to Logan Corrigan with all the pitches he's thrown so far. Dan, that was the worst pitch he's thrown. He's thrown a lot of good stuff right around the plate. That one was just off, just enough. 1-2 now to Joel Klein. He steps out. Corrigan taking a long time. Tom Husser, the plate umpire, says, let's take a pause. Now we come set. Everybody's in place. The windup and the pitch. And that misses outside.
I'll tell you what, maybe that pause on that last pitch maybe took him a little bit out of the rhythm on that last pitch.
Might have. We'll find out here. It's a 2-2 offering coming up from Corrigan. Jerry Malarkey at third base, keeping an eye on the guys behind Ben Haas. That ball's looking to go down the line, but it's going to curve out foul down towards the batting cages.
I tell you, Jake McCall out there in right field is getting a good workout. He's running to the foul line several times. being peppered with some foul balls coming his way.
I guess it's not surprising to say that Joel Klein has just kind of great command of his bat. Laid down a beautiful bunt against Baldwin Whitehall a couple of days ago. Good hustle made it happen. And now he's looking to make something happen here. 2-2. And timeout as Chad Brown is going to go out and talk with his pitcher. And a little discussion, a little strategy here about what to throw. They want to make sure that they get it right. Because again, we got that feeling, Dan, this run, this game has that one-run feel. All right, Corrigan is set. Right up the middle.
Great play.
What a great at-bat. Here comes Ben Haas, and he's going to be held. He is going to be held by Jerry Malarkey as Corey Lazor, with that pulled-in outfield, got to that ball very quickly. And he's got a very strong arm. Jerry Malarkey knew it.
You know, with one out, why chance it? You got the hottest bat on the team for Upper St. Clair coming up. Let him answer here and let him drive these batters in, these runners in right now.
All right, well, Joel Klein gets it done, and with his hustle, he is a threat to steal with one out here in the bottom of the third. And Gannon Rooney is here, again popping a couple of triples against Baldwin Whitehall. He's had a hot bat of late.
Now, I would say that high hard one was well in the 80s right there.
Well, missing the top of the zone, and as does that one. And now Gannon Rooney has an advantage at 2-0. Logan Corrigan does not want to get far behind.
I think Logan was a little shook up from that last hit.
Maybe so, and it's warm enough today that you could start to wonder if maybe just a little tiredness starts to get in, and the heat, because we haven't had much heat lately. This is another one away, and it's a quick 3 straight balls.
That's right. You said quick. It seems like he's rushing his motion.
Now the question,
a little off his game, possibly.
Yeah, the question now is whether or not Jerry Malarkey lets Gannon Rooney have a green light here at 3-0. And he doesn't have to. That is ball 4, and that will load the bases with another hot hitter coming to the plate.
That's right. We got some power coming up.
And Ian Frazier, who knows what to do with men in scoring position. Ducks are on the pond, and there's a little timeout conversation going to happen here, as Bethel Park wants to make sure that they know what they're doing. The infielders are looking now at a tough situation with one out, and you know with the speed that Ben Haas has, he'll get a nice lead and a good jump at third. Right. Any contact that Ian Frazier puts in play, we're going to be looking at a real hustling situation here.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is another situation where Jerry, over the past couple of games, has actually bunted in this situation. You got a speedster in third, you got a speedster holding the bat. Maybe it's fresh in our mind because he's done it a couple times already.
Well, and Ian Frazier, to his credit, is the player who not only can get you a big hit, but he also has the talent to lay down the correct bunt. And we're looking at Harry Sewick coming in now almost to the grass at third base. Over at first base, David Lemley is also in on the grass as they're looking to choke off what could be a big run if it's allowed to develop. Frazier steps in.
Ian loves this situation. He is a rural gamer here.
He's a competitor. He's a warrior. He is a baseball player. Now there's just enough nerves out there. Logan Corrigan wants to step off.
And the guy on deck is itching to get in there as well.
Well, that would be the other thing, is that you want to try and get it out. There's a ball that gets away from Chad Brown, but only outside of the batter's box. We're going to be very cautious on pitches like that. Here at Boyce Mayview, if there's anything behind him, there's lots of room to run because that ball will roll all the way to the brick backing. One out. Corrigan now. Right up
there we go.
Right up the middle. Ian Frazier, big hit. One run will score. Here comes Kraske. He's going to have a play at the plate. Nice. No, he is going to score. Excuse me, that's Joel Klein. And excellent. Ian Frazier alertly goes to second, and Upper St. Clair is quickly up 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. Ian Frazier with a nice hit and a pair of RBIs as a result, and then alertly goes over to second base. And as the catcher, he's going to come out. We'll get a courtesy runner in for him. That is just the formula that was needed, Dan, for this tight ball game.
I know Joe is excited to improve on this lead right here.
All right,
Joe has some power.
All right, that runner will be Thomas Steve. And he's going to get a little conversation quickly from Jerry Malarkey, or maybe a reminder that there's one out. Don't do anything foolish because Joe Repeshak is at the plate.
That's right.
And we could have a big inning. Although I got a feeling again, in this game as tight as this is, and the rivalry, 2-0 might be a big inning. Here's the pitch outside. Corrigan seems to have lost a little bit of control.
I think he's going to lay one right in here now. He needs to get ahead. He's struggling, and Joe is chomping at the bit. He wants to hit it far, drive in a run. Let's see a ribby here.
With the drawn-in infield, he hits it hard. He's got a chance, and he hits it hard to Sawick. Sawick has to look at the runner and then makes a great throw to get the out at first. That was good feeling by Harry Sawick. Very strong. And it doesn't get much easier for Corrigan as Eric Krolzik steps to the plate now. Eric Krolzik with a nice triple, and then also I was just thinking back to the nice RBI hit he had against Erie McDowell. He didn't want to hit that one, but he did, and that goes right out to Zach Forsythe. But it ends the inning in a positive way as the Upper St. Clair Panthers score 2, and they leave 2, and they lead 2-0. Top of the fourth coming up. Don't go away. All right, here's top of the fourth. Quick pitch now. And fouled away by Logan Corrigan. Got a chance to maybe help himself out after giving up 2 runs to the Panthers in that bottom of the third. And the question, Dan, might be with Tim Leckenby on the mound, did he sit too long?
You know, Timmy has been battling this whole game, and the fact of the matter is there's no runs on the board. Yeah. He's finding a way to knock these guys out.
He has indeed, and these pitches, well, this one could be trouble, but no, Anthony Pizzone comes in on that one. That ball got pushed by the breeze just a little bit, but Anthony playing in, used his speed, and there is quickly one down with an F7. Here's Ryan Dodson.
And Timmy's doing a good job putting the ball in play, letting his defense take care of it.
Oh, well, the umpire has called something against Tim Leckenby and has called ball 1 against him, and I do not know what that call was, Dan. Were you able to catch that?
No, I didn't. Would it be a form of a balk, perhaps, where they awarded the batter with a ball?
I'm baffled as to what that would be. To a balk, you've got to be in your set position and have taken a sign, and I don't think that was the case. Very interesting. However, very quickly, we're at 2-1 now with only 2 pitches thrown. That's unusual. We'll see if we can't figure out what that was from plate umpire Tom Hussar. Here's the 2-1 offering. That's way outside, and it's 3-1. Let's hope that does not unnerve Tim Leckenby. Again, Ryan Dodson at the plate. 3-1, and he fouls that away off to our right-hand side behind first base. And it's a full count. By the way, if you're thinking ahead, the next game from today, which may not be when you're actually seeing this game, but our next game for the Upper St. Clair Panthers will be Wednesday at Camden McMillan, but then Friday, the 12th, they will host Brashear right here. And if everything goes well, we'll have that game on the air as well.
Absolutely, and Brashear, new, the public schools are new to our conference, and we welcome them.
Yeah, I know I spoke with Jerry Malarkey about how the section changed. He said he didn't necessarily mind losing McKeesport, not that they weren't good competitively, There's a ball hit right to Anthony Pizzone. He moved about 2.5 steps for out number 2. But Jerry was telling me that he didn't like the fact that Baldwin Whitehall was out. He liked playing them. They're so close by, and a bit of a rivalry, but he welcomes Brashear in, so it should be pretty interesting. So a pair of flyouts in this inning so far, both to Anthony Pizzone in left field. And now we're looking at David Lemley. Lemley, the first baseman. Grounded out to Joel Klein back in the second inning. Here's a fly ball. It's going to carry a little further. That one's into the gap. It's going to go to the fence and off the fence. Kraske to it. Lemley coming to second. And he will have to hold as Adam Kraske gets the ball in quickly. But a nice hit by David Lemley of the Blackhawks.
Keith, he sat back and he drove that ball, and I thought it was going to actually drop. And it just kept carrying and right off the wall.
Well, that sets up a scoring opportunity now for Dakota Forsyth, who comes to the plate. Again, one of the 2 Forsyth brothers that start for the Blackhawks. The good news for the Panthers, 2 out. The bad news is you got a base runner at second in scoring position. Here is Tim Leckenby delivering, and it's important to note right now, even with this situation and Tim throwing a fair number of pitches, Jerry Malarkey has no one working in the bullpen. That doesn't mean he can't get someone warm pretty quickly, but he's got confidence in Tim coming out of this, and the gloves behind him. 1-1 now. Again, that's David Lemley on second. And we are in the top of the 4th inning. Panthers leading 2-0. Blackhawks trying to get on the board. There's a chopper right to Joe Conlon. He has to come back, and that's a tough hop to him. Can they get him at third base? No. An alert play by Eric Krolzik. Just not quite in time, and Joe Conlon quickly got to third.
Well, that was a situation where the ball was a rocket. It was coming out of the grass, and Joe was trying to play it. He actually took a step back in order to try to make a play on the ball, and it hit him right in the chest.
Ate him right up. So, runners at the corners now. 2 out. And Ryan Kogler is at the plate for Bethel Park. Swing and a miss.
Wow, Timmy is on right now.
I'm going to be a non-judgmental on a single or an error right now. Non-judgmental. All right, Tim misses with that offering. I'm being Lanny Fratteri is off to our left, folks, and he's working with an MSA broadcast, and he's kind of giving me a little heave-ho here on that call. That's an official scorer call, not my call. All right, here's a pitch up and away, Kogler, and that gives Timmy the advantage now of a 1-2 count. And of course,
well, I tell you what, Keith, it is very intimidating. On my right, I have Keith James, and on my left, I have Lanny Fratteri. So I have my work cut out here.
Maybe we're
a color commentator.
Maybe we're intimidated by you. Did you ever think of that? All right, here's another fly ball. Guess what? This is going to Anthony Pizzone in left field. He made all 3 outs this inning, and that gets the St. Clair Panthers out of any kind of damage and trouble, even though there was a hit and a couple of men left on. There's no score for Bethel Park. 2 runs on the board for Upper St. Clair. They're going to try and do more here in the bottom of the 4th coming up in a moment. I love Anthony Pizzone's hustle, Dan. Wow. I love it when he hits the ball in the gap like that. That's going to be good for 2. With his hustle, he might be able to stretch it. It's run down in left field, quickly back into the cutoff man, and Anthony Pizzone gets a lead-off double for the Upper St. Clair Panthers to start inning number 4.
And I'll tell you what, Anthony is staying hot. He had a fantastic weekend hitting, and he is continuing to just rip the cover off the ball.
I think the key thing here is that they just keep getting contact off Logan Corrigan. And again, we just have to underscore that Bethel Park came in with a 7-0 record, outscoring their opponents 59-15. We have yet to see that power here today.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that's just goes to show the hard work during the winter months, showing up at Bianco, taking hitting instruction, and it's definitely paying off today.
It pays off for both teams. They all work really hard. Here's Joe Conlon trying to work a bunt, and now he has an 0-1 count. He'll square again, and he pops this one up. He's fortunate it came all the way back to the screen. That's one of the worst things you can do, but now with the quick 2 strikes, probably takes the bunt out of his hands.
I'll tell you what, Pizzone really anchoring that left field slot. Took it away from a senior, and once he was awarded that, he has just been red hot. His confidence is definitely riding high right now.
Well, hopefully he can ride all the way into home plate for the 3rd run. Joe Conlon now looking to hit the ball and fouls this one off to stay alive. And we'll say this for the Upper St. Clair batters, they're making Logan Corrigan work a lot right now these last couple of innings.
He's thrown a number of pitches. It's only inning number 5, but I mean it's starting to take effect on him. It looks like he's a little bit slower on his fastball right now.
Here's the pitch, and that one is going to hit.
Although that one.
Wow. That had a little bit
I think you heard me.
Yeah, it had a little bit of anything, so Joe Conlon goes down looking off that one, and that'll bring to the plate Ben Haas. That's 3 strikeouts today for Corrigan. All right, Ben Haas had a single last inning, and he, of course, wound up scoring one of the 2 Upper St. Clair runs. Joel Klein scored the other. He looks at a strike. Notice Ben's stance where he has that front foot outside and then steps in. Corrigan catches that low outside corner for strike number 2. Leadoff double. Anthony Pizzone out there with a lead at second base. There's the 0-2 swing and a miss. Pizzone gets down there as the throw is hopped right in front of Sawick. He cannot handle it, and it's a stolen base.
I'll tell you what, he had one heck of a jump. By the time the ball got to the catcher, he was halfway there.
And strikeout number 4 for Corrigan. And more importantly, out number 2. There's a hard hit ball by Kraske, and that one is foul. Just out of the reach of Harry Sawick at third. Adam Kraske.
That ball almost hit Pizzone right in the chest. It was right. It was hugging that line.
Well, like they say, down in foul, back in fair.
That's right.
And that's why. That is exactly why. That ball hits you in fair territory, and you are out by the book. All right, once again, back at the plate. Here's Adam Kraske. This pitch is high, and it's 1-1. I think anytime Adam puts the bat on the ball with his speed, you got to think he's got a chance of being safe. I don't care where he hits it. He'd like to hit it in a gap right now.
I'll tell you one thing that you don't know about Adam Kraske. He is a phenomenal infielder. Jerry, we are rich with infielders, and Adam Kraske has been a shortstop for several years, and he's now anchoring the center field spot.
He's good with a glove.
Oh, he's got a great arm.
Oh, and he looks at that. Corrigan with a great pitch inside to get him looking. Corrigan gets himself out of the inning. So the leadoff double goes for naught, but it's still 2-0 Upper St. Clair. So like it says, bottom of the 4th inning here. Bethel Park, the visiting team. Upper St. Clair, the Panthers, hosting them. Bethel Park, by the way, will host Mount Lebanon in their next game. Manager Tony Fisher will take them to back home to Purdy Field. Their last game was a big win, Dan, 13-3 against Greensburg Central Catholic, and that's the second 13-run game that they've had so far this young season.
One can say they have some bats.
They have some bats. Not so today. They have not solved the riddle of Tim Leckenby and the Upper St. Clair Panther defense. We'll find out if there's any solution to that is all. All right. Here's Zach Forsyth to lead things off and try and put the pieces of that puzzle together for Bethel Park. Tim Leckenby now working in his 4th inning.
That's how you want to start the beginning of the 5th inning.
I'm sorry,
Strike
top of the 5th. Thank you.
Right down the middle.
Tim doesn't seem to be throwing as hard as he's capable on every pitch, and there's a nice high fly ball, well struck, but Anthony Pizzone right there.
Wow.
4 outs in a row to Anthony Pizzone. 4 of the last 4 outs for Bethel Park have gone to.
And he just seems to be at the right place at the right time.
He is well positioned.
When that came off the bat, one of the most difficult balls to catch is one that's hit right at you, and he took a step back, realized where he needed to go a few more steps, and made the play.
All right, Harry Sawick is the third baseman. The right-handed batter now. He gets a bat in the ball, and he pops it up. And this one's going to go over towards Ben Haas and right. He easily draws a beat on it, and there's quickly 2 up, 2 down, Dan.
Well, if he keeps it up like this, he will go the distance.
Not that there isn't bullpen help out there. There's some other good pitchers. Graham Ferguson is there for Coach Malarkey. Sam Pavlik pitched a nice game the other
lights
day.
out.
He had some great stuff going on. Austin Raiders out there. There are pitchers that can be very helpful. Even Joel Klein has come in and pitched as well. And that's only part of the list, by the way. We don't mean to. We'll talk about everybody as the season goes along. All right, 1 strike now and a pitch outside with a 1-1 count from Tim Leckenby to Harry Sawick. Two nothing. St. Clair. Tim working and missing outside. I don't think he had the break that he wanted on that breaking stuff.
You mentioned at the beginning of the game that pitching will be a question mark, and we have a number of pitchers on our team that can get you through 2, 3, 4 innings. Do we have the stopper that throws lights out 90 mile an hour?
There's a fly ball. Kraskiana's horse. That could be over his head. It is. It's going to go to the fence. Sawick is past second base. He is coming to third with no problems whatsoever. There will be a throw that'll be held up because Harry Sawick was off to the races. I'm sorry, that's Corey Lazor, right. And that is a triple, a 2-out triple here in the 5th.
I'll tell you what, he sat back on that and just drove it. He drove it deep. It was a kind of an off-speed straight ball, and he got all of that.
He hit that out about, I'm going to guess, in just about 385, 390 feet, almost straight away to center field here at Boyce Mayview. It's 400. Adam Kraske, even with his speed, couldn't run it down. Now there's a scoring opportunity for Bethel Park. And the St. Clair defense with 2 outs. It's got to be real sure-handed on anything that comes their way. Taking his time, getting the sign. Here's Leckenby. Wind up and the delivery fouled off. Jake McCall trying to do something for his guys.
I'll tell you what, that hit did not shake him at all. That was probably one of his best pitches of the game.
Yeah, you're looking at his pacing now with his scoring situation, and Tim is really going to bear down. Inside, chopped, foul. That is quickly a great way to come in on the hands with a smart pitch like that and get up 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the triple from Lazor puts him at third base in easy scoring position. 2-0 St. Clair. Off the fist, right over to Joe Repeshak at first. Easy field, easy out of the inning, out of trouble. Upper St. Clair continues to hang on to the lead, and the excitement builds. They look to maybe add to that lead as they come to bat, coming up in the bottom of the 5th. Talk us about some other games that we'll be looking at trying to do and put on TV. Dan?
Well, this Friday, April 12th, we're going to be playing Brashear. They're new in our division, and really don't know much about that team. I'm sure they're very well coached, and really looking forward to seeing this new entry into our conference.
Yeah, and how about Monday, April 15th? That's one we know.
Absolutely. Peters Township is always a big game. And the players all know each other. They see each other. They see each other in the mall. This is probably just like basketball, and it is a very exciting time, and these guys really find the motivation to win.
Yep, well, it's very similar to this game in terms of the way the teams know each other and have played together over the years.
I mean,
they're both good.
You see them at Bianco together. They probably share batting cages.
Yep, I'm sure they do. All right, it's 1-1 to Joel Klein, who's been leading off here against Corrigan. And now he looks at ball 2. And Joel, of course, scoring that second run back in the 3rd inning. He hits this one right back to Corrigan. Corrigan easily fields cleanly, and there is one away. All right, Gannon Rooney will stride to the plate. He's working as the designated hitter today.
And one of the reasons why he is a designated hitter, he did have an injury in Spartanburg. I think it's pinky finger. Got jammed in one of his play while he was catching a ball.
And that ball up and away from Corrigan. This ball fouled back. And Gannon Rooney is quickly in a hole 0-2. Well, it doesn't take much of an injury when you got to squeeze that bat to kind of put you off a little bit, but he's fought back nicely. Again, he's hit the ball in the last couple of games here at Boyce Mayview. He's hit it very well, but he swings and misses at a great offering right there from Corrigan. And that is out number 2 here in inning number 5. And Ian Frazier will stride to the plate. Frazier, of course, with a nice RBI single. Back in the 3rd. He came through with the bases loaded. And he right now is the guy's responsible for plating those 2 runs as he looks at ball number 1. There's Corrigan's little chip chop there.
Tell you what, Ian also is a really good outfielder and has incredible wheels.
I'd have to say, if there's one, not that not everyone isn't capable, but if there's one guy who's probably capable of playing every position out there, it would be Ian Frazier.
Absolutely.
I don't think anybody would dispute that, and that's not meant as a slam at anyone else on the Panther team, or the Blackhawks for that matter. For all I know, he can do play-by-play in color, too. So, all right, it's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Ian Frazier. Again, we're in the bottom of the 5th, with the Panthers leading the Blackhawks 2-0. Inside, real tight.
Looks like the wind's kicking up a little bit.
Yeah, there have been some gusts, Dan, and that's what's made a couple of those fly balls interesting. It may have aided the triple that Lazor hit as it got over the head of Adam Kraske. But right now, the wind wasn't a factor as Ian Frazier draws a walk here, a 2-out walk, and brings Joe Repechak to the plate.
How about a little 2-out lightning right now, huh?
2-out lightning would be very interesting, and Joe is certainly capable of that. And now we're getting the courtesy runner. Thomas Steve will go out for Ian Frazier, the catcher. He will take his 2.5 stride lead. Corrigan goes set, kicks, and misses. Oh, no, he does not miss.
Boy, that dropped right in there. That dropped right off the table.
It had to come in and just catch that upper outside corner. Tom Hussart calls it strike 1. The throw over. More a test than anything else. Christopher Wheeler over there coaching first base for Upper St. Clair. There's a ball right up the middle. Nice clean hit. Thomas Steve turns and will come back to second base, and it's a single and a man in scoring position now thanks to Joe Repechak. And that'll bring to the plate Eric Krolzik. I'm counting 7 hits so far today for the Panthers. And now we're going to get a timeout call. And Jerry Malarkey, for some reason, is conversing with the umpires over near third base.
I'll Tell you what, that Repeshak hit, it went right in between Logan's legs.
All right, we're not sure what that umpire discussion was all about, but well, you can't change. Maybe he was trying to change the 2 outs back to 1, but Jerry Malarkey's good, but he's not that good.
That's right.
So there's still 2 out.
Well, we have a 2-out Lightning still.
2-out Lightning is what my partner's talking about here, so that's what we're going to see with Repeshak on first. Thomas Steve, the pinch runner, in on second base. Eric Krolzik at the plate looking at a ball that doesn't quite catch the corner, and it's ball 1. Clouds thickening up, but no rain. Nice, cool, pleasant afternoon for baseball. Corrigan throws. There's a quick throw down, and Joe Repeshak gets back, diving. And I noticed Thomas Steve coming back as well, as opposed to staying out there. With 2 out, you don't want to take any chances. 2 balls, no strike. Shortstop Eric Krolzik steps out now.
Tell you what, that last slide back with Repeshak, I know Mrs. Repeshak hated to see that, because we're looking at about 20 soakings to get those pearly white pants back to their condition they are.
Foul ball by Krolzik. I used to always tell the kids, go ahead and get dirty. Mom can't yell at you for doing all that laundry.
That's right.
Well, it means you're in the game. If your uniform is dirty like that, it means you're in the game. And I have to tell you, there's a number of dirty uniforms out there on both sides. These are 2 talented baseball teams playing here today, and the score, that tight score of 2-0, tells you just how talented they are. All right, here's the 2-1 pitch, and that misses away. 3-1, and
very
now,
good at bat.
Little challenge here for Logan Corrigan. He's going to have to come in. He does not want to load the bases again. With a hot-hitting Anthony Pizzone coming to the plate. Eric Krolzik now chips that one away. Good swing, good pitch.
Very
by
good
Corrigan.
swing. Absolutely. Veteran move. Corrigan had to come with the fastball, and Krolzik was waiting for it, and I tell you what, he just missed it.
All right, now it's full count. Again, 2 out. Eric Krolzik still feels like he's in command. A base hit to the outfield can score Thomas Steve. He has the speed. Runners are moving.
That could drop.
There's a long ball going back in center field. There's Lazor, and he makes that catch for out number 3. So the Panther threat here in the bottom of the 5th is choked off by Bethel Park, and they keep it close, but Upper St. Clair is up 2-0. We'll be right back. Top of the 6th inning, Logan Corrigan will come to the plate for the Bethel Park Blackhawks, as they are just in a great inner neighborhood rivalry with the Panthers today. And Tim Leckenby really gets a tip of the hat. Dan, I don't think anyone would think that I'm out of line saying I don't think he has his best stuff, but he has his best battle going today. Tim has just done a wonderful job. And there's a 1 pitch up to right. Kraske trying to go for it, and he cannot get to it. Adam Kraske has to run it down. Corrigan is going to make it to third very easily, diving in on his belly. And that is a leadoff triple that I thought got a little maybe assist from the wind there.
Absolutely. Corrigan's pitching a great game, and now he's
looking to help himself.
He's trying to help himself here.
We'll find out now. This is going to be a tough one for all the battle we talked about with Tim Leckenby and the gloves behind him for the Panthers with a leadoff triple.
It looks like the bullpen's starting to warm up.
I think it would be time for that, just in case Tim. I don't carry a pitch count here, but Tim Leckenby has thrown a fair number of pitches, as has Logan Corrigan. This ball gets up over the shoulder of Ian Frazier, but he knocks it down, and that will keep Corrigan at third, and that's ball 1. This is maybe the best scoring opportunity that the Blackhawks have had perhaps all day, simply because it's a leadoff triple. Ryan Dodson digs in now, fouls this one away.
Keith, I'm trying to get a look at who is in the bullpen.
Well,
Keenan Murray.
Keenan Murray. Mr. Hockey. All right, 1-1. Here in the 6th. Tim working out of the stretch. There's a ball that's hit to right field, up over the head of Ben Haas. 1 run will score, and Ryan Dodson will go into second as the Blackhawks get on the board. So a triple followed by a double.
I think Jerry's starting to think about his options right now. A lot of these batters, they've been through the rotation 2 or 3 times. Sometimes when you see a pitcher two or three times, you're able to line them up and find out their tendencies. And I think 1 or 2 more hits like this, and I think Jerry's going to have to pull them.
Ian Frazier calls a little mound conference as he knows David Lemley's got some danger in his bat. And Lemley is at the plate now with nobody out and his teammate Ryan Dodson at second. Tim Leckenby working out of the stretch, drops that one in and just misses. Ball 1. David Lemley today, 1 for 1. Excuse me, 1 for 2. He looks at a strike there, and the count is even. Boy, both of those balls were hit in a similar territory. And again, I just wonder if there's a little wind assist. They were hit well. 1-1 Leckenby. The pitch fouled away down the first base side. Now Tim has a little leverage at 1 and 2.
Right. Tim is continuing to battle.
I think the other thing would be is if you're looking to make a pitching change, you need some time for that warm-up. Even though it's a milder day than what we've had here the last few weeks, Dan, it's still, you need some time for the warm-up.
There's no doubt.
You also need to make sure you deliver the ball here and try and get this batter. Ball behind Ian Frazier. That's a rare one, and Dodson will go to third. And that's a pass ball, which again is a rarity against Ian Frazier. And now you got another run 90 feet away, and that would tie the game. And a 2-2 count to Lemley. Now with that runner behind him, Tim is still going to work out of the stretch, which I find interesting. Pitches and misses just inside for a full count. Infield is squeezing in. They know how important that guy is at third. And here's the pitch from Leckenby. Off the fists, out into center field. Kraski's going to get it. Here's the tag, and Dodson will score easily. Good throw from Adam Kraski, but that's a sac fly for David Lemley. And that will tie the game at 2-2. We knew it would be tight, Dan.
Absolutely. Very disciplined at bat. He sat on it. He wanted to get it out there in the outfield somewhere, and he was successful. Tie game.
Tie game, and maybe what would hurt a little more is nobody out for Tim Leckenby as he looks at Dakota.
No, we have 1 out.
I'm sorry, 1 out. As he looks at, with the sac fly, as he looks at Dakota Forsythe coming in now, he still has to battle to get out of this inning, which I think Jerry Malarkey would like him to do before there's any thought of a pitching change. Off the fist, fouled away. And Tim is now ahead, 0-2. Ryan Kogler on deck for the Blackhawks. A 2-2 game here. We could be here for a while. Hope you brought some extra something to munch on or something as we approach dinner time.
Lanny was mentioning something about Moe's over there. I heard in one of the promos there.
Food. There you go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hard hit right through the gap past the diving Eric Krolzik. And that is a base hit for Dakota Forsythe. And the Blackhawks seem to have a little something going on here in the sixth.
That's right.
Ryan Kogler coming to the plate now. And those are some of the fastest signals I've seen from a third base coach in a long time. He looked like he was going to take off. His arms were moving so fast. Tim Leckenby delivers high. Ball one. Ryan Kogler with his teammate Dakota Forsythe at first base. Pitches away, catches a corner. 1-1 the count.
As good of a game that Timmy has had, I think we're getting close to that time where Jerry might have to pull him.
Well, again, you know he's thrown a lot of pitches. I don't have a number at all, Dan, but he's thrown a lot of pitches. He is a worker, but everybody can get tired. That foul ball makes it 1-2 count. And you wonder about the weather change a little bit. You know, you talked about their southern trip, how chilly it was. It's been chilly here. Today started warm. It's cooled off now. You just wonder if the weather changes has any kind of effect. Nice throw-over move by Tim. Forsythe gets back easily. Pair of runs in this inning for the Blackhawks as they have tied it up 2-2. And there's a ball that gets away from Ian Frazier. I'd have to say that one was probably a wild pitch because it's curving into the dirt, but that allows Forsythe to go to second base. And Ryan Kogler looks at a 2-2 count. Kogler reaches, fouls one off, but does stay alive.
Sorry, Keith, I don't see anybody in the bullpen.
Well, the question would be, I know we saw Keenan Murray earlier, is he warm enough?
I don't think you could ever be warm enough.
I agree with that completely. I know there's a pitch now. It's going to go to Eric Krolzik. He knocks it down, but he had to go far to his right to get that ball, and that's all he could do was knock it down.
Well, I'm glad he knocked it down because if that would have got past him, that would have been the third run in.
That is no question at all. I'm going to have to say that looked like a hit because I don't know that Eric could have played that otherwise. So with only one out, we're looking at Zach Forsythe coming to the plate with runners at the corners and a little conversation at the mound now. And this conversation has to be as much about the batter as it is about the situation, and making sure that Tim is calm enough to do what he needs to do. It's Christopher Wheeler out there having that conversation with Tim.
Wheeler was a former player for Jerry Larkey.
Yeah. Then he went to Duquesne, and then he went to W&J, which I understand he's finishing up down there. Zach Forsythe has grounded out to the infield in the third and flied out to who else but Anthony Pizzone in the seventh. Here's a runner coming. There's the pitch, strike one, as Forsythe squared the bunt. And Forsythe gave everybody a fake. That was a fake.
That was a fake steal. Yep. But it always causes a little bit of alarm.
But it did allow another man to go into scoring position as Ryan Kogler goes to second. And of course, that is not a stolen base. That is actually a fielder's choice with Kogler going to second base. There was no attempt made on him because they weren't going to let that runner come home from third. All right, Tim gets a nice strike there.
Looks like they moved the corners in a step or two.
Yeah, just about everybody's on the grass. Right on the edge. Joe Conlon may be the only one, but he could creep because he's so close. There's another foul ball back. This is a good battle here.
The big question is here, do you go home with a ground ball or do you get the shore out at one if it is a ground ball in the infield?
Well, you know, you're the home team. You have that last at-bat. You've been hitting the ball. You've got to believe that is the case. However, this game has, again, all those earmarks of being a one-run ball game, being that tight. So I would say you've got to just try and do whatever you can and choke that run. You are down in the order. Number 9 hitter, Harry Sawick, is on deck. Pitch to Forsythe. He fouls it off again. This is a nice at-bat for Zach Forsythe. And a good battle for Tim Leckenby. Again, 1 out. It's all tied. 2-2. We are in the bottom of the 6th. And it's a 1-2 count. Runners at second and third. Here's a ball that's fouled away again by Zach Forsythe. Way up behind us. Well, if you
tell you what, sometimes some of these shorter players are much more difficult to pitch to. They crouch down, shortens the strike zone.
Yeah, that's understood. There's a ball that just misses outside. That was one of Tim's best pitches. He was working to pull that one in. Just misses outside for a 2-2 count. And again, the number 9 hitter is on deck. 1 away. Fouled off
Oh, he
again.
chased it.
That's what Tim wanted. He wants him to be diving outside. Sooner or later, if he can get him to fish, he's gonna miss one. But if he lays off them, then it's going to go to full count. And now Eric,
I think that was that prior pitch. It was right off the strike zone. I don't think the umpire was going to let that happen again. I think he was going to ring him up.
Eric Krolzik has really moved in now. Look at him in on the grass at short. There's a ball fouled away again. Boy, talking about one of these good at-bats. Zach Forsythe with a good one. This is a good pitcher's batter duel.
Crowd is really into this game right now. They're on the edge of their seat right now.
And they're pretty quiet with the tension that's going on here with this situation here in the 6th inning. And there's a ball that's going to drop. There's a little flare that's going to drop. 1 run will score. Here comes Bazzone up with it. He's going to throw. The other run is being pushed to the plate, and he will score. And with a little flare hit from Zach Forsythe, the Blackhawks score 2 and take the lead 4-2, Dan.
And I'll tell you what, you can always be an armchair quarterback here, but you got to wonder if maybe Tim threw one too many pitches here. I mean, there was nobody on base, and Jerry wanted him to finish the inning out, and I think he still is going to leave him in here.
Well, he is now, but he still has a runner in scoring position, and now we're going to see Jerry Malarkey go out to the mound, and Keenan Murray is right behind him, so it's time for a pitching change. And
what a game!
Yeah, a handshake for Tim Leckenby. You know, that's a flare bloop hit. Not that Zach Forsythe didn't deserve it, because he really battled. That was a great at-bat for him. But so did Tim Leckenby. He has battled mightily. So now it's
all game. I'll tell you what. Tim has worked on his. He has worked on his game. He has been in the combines. He definitely wants to play post high school ball. I think today going up against a solid hitting Bethel team like this, and he showed that he can play at the next level. I mean, I am very impressed with him. Very impressed with him.
Well, again, we're talking about an impressive Bethel Park team with a lot of offense coming in. They outscored their opponents so far this season, 59-15 coming into today's game. They had 2 13-run wins, and they've beaten Fox Chapel. That one they won in 11 innings. They've beaten McKeesport, Butler, Thomas Jefferson, Woody High, Central Catholic, and Greensburg Central Catholic. There are no slouches there. They have beaten good competition.
Absolutely, and I just look at Tim. Tim didn't have his best stuff today, and he pitched great. I mean, we are going to be seeing some big things out of Tim Leckenby, both at Upper St. Clair baseball and postseason. I really there's a big future for him in postseason ball.
All right, well, we'll find out what happens here with the future of Keenan Murray, because of the Blackhawks have scored 4 here in the 6th. He's on the mound now, and it's up to him to, so they say, stop the bleeding with only 1 out. And the good news is that he knows if we can get out of this inning, we have 2 at-bats as the home team to try and make things happen. And their pitcher has been out there, and he's been working as well, so Logan Corrigan could be getting a little tired. He can be had. They have hit him.
I'll tell you what, Keenan, or also known as K-Dog, I tell you what, he throws a very heavy ball. You don't think it's coming at you, but it blows right by you.
All right, here's his first offering to Harry Sawick, and it is high for ball 1.
His other strong pitch is he has a wicked drop off the table curveball.
He's going to need it here, and there's a nice pitch for a 1-1 count.
When Keenan's on, he is lights out.
That's what we need right now. That's for sure. Nice break on that
Did
pitch.
You see that curveball?
Holy cow, was that moving.
That broke about 3-4 inches. I mean, I had the pleasure of coaching Keenan, and heck of an athlete. In the field he plays third base, first base, but his strong suit is pitching. Heck of a hockey player, too.
Yes, indeed. He splits his time. There's a ball that gets past Ian Frazier. That is a pass ball off his glove, and that's another rarity. And that does allow Zach Forsythe to go to third.
Tell you what, last year, Coach Malarkey thought well enough of Keenan that he came into the baseball season with a back injury that he sustained during his hockey season, and Jerry knew the type of player that he is. And
there's a breaking pitch, and he has got him looking.
That's right, and he made a spot for him, knowing that he might not be available until the late season. And I'll tell you what, as it turned out, the last couple weeks of the season, he did help us out a lot.
Well, he's helping out right now with that strikeout, and now he needs to help out with getting Corey Lazor out of the lineup if the Panthers are to kind of stop things right now in their tracks. Lazor, the center fielder, had a triple back in the 5th. He did not score, but man, did he hit that ball a ton. That pitch is up and in. The old chin music makes it a 1-1 count.
One other thing about K-Dog, I tell you what, he can pound the ball.
And that's what you need right now.
Absolutely. Jerry Malarkey likes his pitchers pitching. It's rare that you see somebody, pitching and being in a position. But I tell you what, if he ever had to pit, if he ever get up there, he can pound the ball. He really can.
Well, he misses up and inside there, and it's a 3-1 count. Relying on that breaking pitch that didn't break enough. Lazor fouls this one off to make it a full count. I think if you're the Blackhawks, you're not totally comfortable right now with a 4-2 lead. I think you'd love to get Zach Forsythe home from third base now with 2 outs. 3 runs sounds like a better lead. That ball breaks and gets in and catches.
He had him backed off.
And that is looking, and that's another strikeout. However, the Blackhawks come up with 1, 2, 3, 4 runs in this inning, and they take the lead. Going into the bottom of the 6th, it's 4-2, Bethel Park on top. St. Clair coming to bat.
Okay, we have the top of the 6th, and we have Corey Augenstein now taking the plate, the mound, and I can't say enough about how Logan Corrigan went almost 6 full innings. He definitely is earned the A spot, and this was an A spot game.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to believe you have a game this big this early in the season, Dan, but that is the case. And it really says something about the fact that Bethel Park has the kind of equipment they need to compete, because here comes another left-hander.
Mm-hmm.
And Augustine is a good one with some good motion on his ball. He's got that tall, kind of gangly motion, which makes that ball coming out of his hands a little difficult to pick up. So the St. Clair batters now with this pitching change are going to have to be very patient as Anthony Pizzone will lead it off, followed by Joe Conlon and Ben Haas as we are here in the bottom of the 6th inning with fortunes turning in the top of this inning.
And once again, Keith, this is a lefty. The entire pitching staff are lefties. I don't know if you knew that.
That I did not know. It's a pretty easy call to the bullpen. You only use one arm. That's for sure.
I'm sure they have at least one or two righties, but I mean I know that their first four rotation I think are all lefties.
There you go. Anthony Pizzone now, who doubled in his last at bat, looks at a strike. Augenstein with his delivery. There's a chopper. That's foul. Harry Zwick with a nice little tumbling act there. All righty, Anthony Pizzone back in the second had a fielder's choice and then had the double in the fourth and a stolen base, but he did not score. But he hit that ball strongly in that double to get things started. He needs to do the same here in the 6th. They're going to call that strike 3 low on that outside corner, down and away, and looking.
Boy, that was a sneaky fast pitch. It dropped right just into the strike zone. It looked like it was going to drop in the dirt, but it carried right into the mitt.
6 strikeouts earlier for Logan Corrigan, and that's the first strikeout and the first batter he faces for Corey Augenstein. Joe Conlon steps in, and he looks at a ball that just misses. All right, here's Joe. And he'll look at a called strike. That evens everything up. Look at the third baseman on Joe Conlon coming in. Harry Zwick is in on the grass. And as the left-handed batter, what he's looking for is that ball that maybe gets chopped off the end of the bat and comes his way.
I'll tell you what, the power of Joe Conlon, that third baseman better watch it because he might have his head taken off if he's up that close.
Well, he showed it on that foul ball. He hit that pretty hard. All right, a foul ball makes it a 1-2 count now for Joe Conlon. And the revitalization of the Blackhawks puts them not only in the lead, but puts them in the command in terms of batters trying to come from behind now. A little bit of anxiousness as Conlon looks at that ball for the 2-2 count. Corey Augenstein on the mound for Bethel Park. Swung on a miss. Strike 3. And there's 2 gone. A little frustration right there. And now Ben Haas coming up to try and do it for the Panthers. Ben Haas in the third singled and scored, struck out in the fourth. He looks at an inside ball there. I think it's just interesting, Dan, to see how relaxed all the players seem to be, regardless of how tense this game has been almost from the opening pitch.
Absolutely. A lot of control up there. You don't see, I don't think I've seen one batter swing at a bad pitch. I mean, they're very much in control, looking for their pitch to drive.
And even on the called strikes both ways, they've been very close pitches, like that one. That is a called strike on the inside corner for a 2-1 count to Ben Haas. It has amazed me at not just here in baseball, but at all levels now, young people, how poised they can be in their games. And here's a nice breaking pitch that comes in to even things up at 2-2. That ball had a lot of movement on it.
Well, I think Ben's seen it twice now. I think he's ready to drive it now.
Well, he can, and he can drive it too. And it's going to miss inside. It's going to go to a full count now. I mean, he's certainly got a good bat on the ball for his single back in the third, excuse me. And that was the scoring inning for Upper St. Clair as he scored the first run of the afternoon. Joel Klein right behind him. And he looks at a 3-2 pitch, and they're going to call it a strike 3.
That was right down the middle.
It broke in, that's for sure. Ben Haas not happy with the umpire's call, maybe not happy with himself, but it doesn't matter. Nobody's happy with the score if you're a Panthers fan. They trail 4-2. Bethel Park coming up in the top of the 7th. Don't go away. Again, we're at Boyce Mayview Field. We're headed into the top of the 7th inning here with the Bethel Park Blackhawks, the visitors, coming from behind to take a 4-2 lead late in the game. And Upper St. Clair battling to try and hold them and see if they can't get a couple of runs going. And we are all winners today, Dan, as we were just discussing. There is no rain today. Not yet, anyway.
Absolutely. It's threatening, but I think we're going to get this one in.
Pleasant weather for the game today. Not so pleasant on the scoreboard for Panther fans right now. And leading off for Bethel Park, Jake McCall, he fouls one off. That's Keenan Murray, again, who came in for Tim Leckenby. Tim pitching 5 1/3 innings. With a lot of pitches and a great battle. Keenan Murray hitting the outside corner. Oh, was that a nice pitch.
It actually came across the plate and then kind of tailed back right into the strike zone.
Looks like he had soft motion on that too.
Whoop.
This one inside, and we have a hit batsman. So there's a dead ball as Jake McCall is hit by the pitch and goes to first base.
Looks like he hurt his arm on the plate too. He's shaking it off. I think he's calling for somebody to come on over and talk to him.
That's not a good sign. Keenan Murray was bending over. He's dropped his glove. He's holding his elbow a little bit, it seems. Everyone is going out. Time is called. Jerry Malarkey going out. Now the question would be, if for some reason he's injured enough and he's strained whatever, Dan, who do you turn to here?
Well, you have Pavlik, which, by the way, I don't see anybody in the bullpen. You would think... actually, it looks like Joel Klein is warming up from the second base slot, playing catch with the shortstop.
Well, Keenan Murray is definitely coming out of the game. With whatever happened on that pitch, he is definitely coming out of the game. Jerry Malarkey looking to make the decision now, and we'll get a shuffle at the mound.
You could tell as soon as he released the ball, it was one of his curveballs. And he took it a little bit too far outside, and it did clip the batter. But you could just tell as soon as he released the ball, he threw his arm down, and you could tell that he was in pain.
Well, that'll take this shuffle in place now. On the mound is Joel Klein, who moves in from second base, and going to second base, taking his glove out of the dugout, would be Gannon Rooney, who, of course, was working as the designated hitter today. So Gannon, and he's certainly capable. Like you said, we're rich in infielders.
Absolutely.
That's actually a good thing, and it gives a nice option for Jerry Malarkey to make a move like this. In fact, Joel Klein had pitched against Baldwin Whitehall. He had a big break back then when he was pitching against Baldwin Whitehall. Was that last Friday? He had good movement on his stuff. He'll be a different look for Bethel Park to see compared to the power of Tim Leckenby and the speed and finesse of Keenan Murray.
Right, he throws a kind of a tight ball. He puts a little bit of movement on it. Doesn't throw hard, but he throws over the plate. And again, with the solid defensive lineup that we have, I mean this team feels like they can handle anything that's hit at them.
Well, now Joel, of course, because of this injury situation, gets as many pitches as he needs to warm up. He's been out there throwing infield, so he's got to be at least halfway there. But he's going to take his time, make sure he has the stuff, and, of course, makes that minor adjustment to the flat of second base coming into the mound. So while he does that, we want to remind you that we're going to have these games for you. We're going to have several more games here, Dan, as we plan. You mentioned we're going to have Brashear next Friday, April 12th, we should say, and then we're also looking at the 15th with Peters Township. But beyond that, we have some other games.
That's right. On April 20th, we're going to be playing South Fayette. Very well coached, I believe. Coach Barton is the coach of South Fayette. And very, very good team, very well disciplined team. April 22nd, we're going to be playing Char Valley. We'll go back to the action here.
Yeah, and when the action resumes with Logan Corrigan stepping in now. And the pitch from Joel Klein is away, and that's ball 1.
April 26th, we're going to be playing Cannonmack at home. May 3rd, Mount Lebanon. Well, that will be a good one. And May 4th will be Hempfield.
And we'll attempt to bring as many of those games to you here on television in high definition as much as possible. All right, Joel Klein misses again, and it's now a 2-0 count to Logan Corrigan. He's got to have a different mindset from when he was down 2-0. The starting pitcher today for the Blackhawks, he looks at ball 3. And again, the hit batsman was Jake McCall. He's at first base. Our thoughts and concerns are with Keenan Murray, who did something to his pitching arm, right in the elbow area. Joel tries to get that ball to break, and it does not. And it's quick walk and a quick 2 runners for Bethel Park. It's McCall at second, Corrigan at first, and here's Ryan Dodson coming to the plate.
If I was Jerry, I might want to put another, I might get that bullpen warmed up. You never know how long of a game that this could turn into.
Well, we still have another at bat. But first you got to stop the bleeding there.
That's right.
There's a nice pitching right there. Nice pitching right there by Joel Klein. Dodson swinging and missing.
Be nice to see a double play right now.
Infield fly rule in effect here with runners at first and second and nobody out. Ian Frazier with a nice stop. 1-1 the count. Joel Klein throws the ball that is fouled back by Dodson, and now Joel has an advantage of a 1-2 count. Joel's dad, Arnie, had a little surgery, recovering nicely. Saw him just the other day. Glad to know he's doing well.
The mayor?
The mayor. There's a ball that's hit to right field. Ben Haas on his horse. He will run it down, but the runners will get the tag and advance. And that ball is quickly back in. That's a deep fly ball. That's as good as a sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Almost.
I tell you what, that was a nice play by Ben Haas. He got a good beat on it. Was aware where he was at. He came pretty close to running right into the wall there, made the grab and made a good throw into the second.
Now, Jake McCall advances from second to third, but Logan Corrigan, because of the proximity of right field, stays home at first. Or I shouldn't say stays home. Home is here, first is there. But anyway, that puts runners at the corners, and that puts David Lemley at the plate with one away. Joe Conlon's going to come in at third base on the grass, or at least he's put his toes almost there. That runner's going to move, and that's defensive indifference, which is really a fielder's choice.
That's right.
And now there's runners in scoring position at third and
it's key
second.
here. You have to knock everything off down here.
And now you bring the infield in. Right ball, and it skips right past Joe Conlon. Well struck, and here comes 2 runs. Here's the throw going back to second, trying to get that runner. They will not get him. That's a fine piece of hitting by David Lemley. He puts a chop. There's no way Joe Conlon gets to that ball, and the runners were moving well on the hard hit, and they score 2. Lemley winds up.
There's really second. Nothing you could do there. It was very, very hard hit. He moved. He tried to. He lunged to his right, and it's just the ball just got into the outfield too quickly.
Again, that ball was just chopped. And that's a pair of RBIs for David Lemley, and Dakota Forsyth is at the plate now. And there's still only 1 out with a 6-2 lead now for Bethel Park. And that's what, if you're Bethel Park, that's what you want to do. You want to open that lead up because you still got to believe that you're going to look at Adam Kraske to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning, and then you're going to the top of the Upper St. Clair order. Joe Klein with a nice breaking ball that comes in for a strike, and it's 0-2. Forsyth now with a single and scoring a run in the 6th inning. He hits a fly ball out towards Adam Kraske. Adam ranging to his left. He makes the grab and gets it quickly in. That's out number 2.
A little bit sigh of relief there.
Yeah, it helps a little bit. It doesn't help that they plated a couple of extras, but that's what it is. Ryan Kogler now comes to the plate. Joel Klein looks at the runner, delivers, and that's fouled up behind us. Lemley at second. Here's the pitch. Breaking stuff. Doesn't quite catch the corner. And it goes to 1-1.
And I'll tell you, he was not moving. That ball was coming at him, and he had no problem with that clipping him.
Nope. At this point, just keep this inning going if you're them. Here's
there we go.
Line drive right at Gannon Rooney, but there was damage done. 2 more runs for Bethel Park in the top of the 7th, and that puts a lot more pressure on the Upper St. Clair batters. We'll find out if they're up to it with the bottom of the 7th coming up in just a moment. All right, what could be the last hurrah for the Upper St. Clair Panthers here today at Boyce Mayview Field? Again, Keith James along with Dan Repishak, and I have to tell you, Dan, that you talk about that 7th inning for Bethel Park. How about this? They got 2 runs, no hits, and no errors. So they get the hit batsman and the walk. I mean, I'm sorry, other than the double. But that's just absolutely a great way to put together an inning and manufacture a couple of runs if luck turns your way. Now, will luck turn
absolutely
to the Panthers with Adam Kraske?
If Bethel Park could score 4 runs, why can't we score 4 runs?
Absolutely. Anything's possible at this level, that's for sure. Now, again, Corey Augenstein is on the mound, the left-hander who came in for the starting pitcher, Logan Corrigan. His first pitch to Kraske here in the bottom of the 7th is a called strike. Adam Kraske with a sacrifice bunt and a strikeout earlier on today. He looks at a pitch that's low and makes it 1-1. Breeze has died down a little bit, but it's still a factor. This pitch on that outside corner. Tom Hussar seems to like those outside corner pitches. From my vantage point, several of them have been off, but my vantage point isn't as good as his, plus my calls don't count. So it's 1-2 to Adam Kraske. Adam gets a bat on the ball.
That's it.
Off the shin of the second baseman. Adam makes the turn, and that is what you wanted. Get a leadoff man on.
It's very difficult to close out a game when you're playing a very formidable some formidable competition.
There's a hit for Adam Kraske with that tough hop. They got right past Zach Forsyth. Top of the order now, Joel Klein looking to bear down, nobody out. This will change things for Augenstein. He came in earlier, he was just cruising with nobody on base, but now it is a different story. Struck out the side in the 6th. Now he's got a little trouble locating the plate, shaking his arm a little bit. He does have a 4-run lead to work with. Joel Klein stepping back in, waiting for his pitch. Fouls one off. Thought he had it.
Oh, that was a solid cut.
Joel's always been a very good contact hitter. Small, compact swing. And he can move the ball around. That ball misses high, and it's 3-1. Adam Kraske has the speed to steal almost at will, Dan, but you've got to be very cautious with only 3 outs to work with. Ball 4 to Joel Klein, and that puts 2 men on with nobody out.
Absolutely, and Keith, to your point, you know, you don't want to gamble right now. You have no outs. You got your top of the order. Pitcher struggling.
Well, it's certainly not what he did, you know, in the 6th inning when he struck 3 batters out. Gannon Rooney now fouls one back. This is one of those things when, you know, that advice to young ball players, just get a hit. You don't need to be a hero.
That's right.
Just get a hit. String some hits
one
together.
at a time.
And you got 2 speedy runners at plate. Adam Kraske has to be the fastest guy on the team as far as I'm concerned. Joel Klein could give him a run for his money. So you've got 2 speed guys. Just get a hit. Get it going. Gannon looks at that ball.
You know, Kraske runs a 6'9", 60-yard dash. That is D1 material.
That is D1 material, and I told him that's what they look for in the minor leagues a lot. There's a swing on and miss, a little foul tip there by Gannon Rooney, and
Keith,
it's 1-2.
Keith, you can't teach speed.
You cannot teach speed. You cannot teach 90 miles an hour in a pitching arm either.
That's right.
You can teach another mile or 2, but all right, here's Augenstein's offering. Chopper to third, off the glove of Zwick. Everyone is going to be safe on that error. Gannon Rooney tops the ball. It chops to Harry Zwick. All he had to do was field it and step on third, and he couldn't find the handle.
And Keith, this is getting very interesting.
Wow.
We got our 3-4 hitter coming up.
This is what you want, huh? There's a nice ball going down the foul line, fair. Foul. Ian Frazier turning on that ball.
You know, he has a short, compact swing, and he just got around, and he just got a hold of that ball, and I'll tell you what, it was within inches of being fair. Boy, that would have, with those speedsters out there, that could have been 2 runs.
Frazier with bases loaded. He's a dangerous hitter. Augenstein catches that low outside corner. Strike 2. Now he has something to work with, but he's got to be very careful. 3 fast runners on, nobody out, bases loaded. Hit right to shortstop. There's 1. There's the turn as the run scores, and there's 2 down. So Frazier winds up getting a double play ball right to Forsythe, and over to Limlin.
I'll tell you what, that was a good defensive play by Bethel Park. Hardly hit ball.
That's a 6-4-3. And that brings us down to Joe Repechak. A little timeout for a conversation about something again. We've had a couple of those now.
All right, here we go. We got a 2-out Lightning. Here we go.
2-out Lightning happened before when you called for it.
That's
so
right.
We'll see if we can't get it again. That's Joel Klein over at third base. He was the one who got to advance as Gannon Rooney was wiped out on the double play. Kraske scored if you're keeping score at home, and you should be. All right, here's Augenstein's delivery. Fouled back. And it is quickly 0-2. It has been an interesting afternoon, if nothing else, and it's been as tight a game as we thought. We didn't figure there'd be any 13-3 score or anything like that. Augenstein looking for something outside. In and away from the catcher. Well, Joel Klein's going to play it very safe. You're down to that last out. It's got to be 100% sure before you go.
Boy, and Augustine really tried to put that one away. He seemed like he had everything that he could put into that pitch.
Chad Brown did a nice job of knocking the ball down so it didn't get all the way to the backstop, because, again, all the way to the backstop here is a run. Augenstein now. Chopper to short. Forsythe up with it over to Lemley, and there is the ball game. The Bethel Park Blackhawks come from behind, managed to post a couple of extra runs. The Panthers battle back and make it extremely interesting. A great pitching game from Tim Leckenby. We trust that Keenan Murray's okay, a little something with the arm, but boy, it's just one of those games that you get when you get two rivals together like this, Dan.
Absolutely. It was a great game. Bethel Park showing the type of team they are. Very good hitting team, very good defensively, shortstop, the whole infield playing extremely well. They definitely took control of this game. But do not count out the Panthers. They will be back. This is going to stick in their minds, and they are going to be ready.
Well, we want you to be ready after this game today, which Bethel Park wins 6-3. We want you to be ready for some more of these Upper St. Clair Panther home games on television here. We're hopefully going to do a whole bunch of them, thanks to the fine efforts of Paul Conlon and a whole bunch of other folks that are making this happen. We'll let you know that we will be in the broadcast booth. Everything that goes our way will be here on Friday, April 12th for the next home game. That's when we welcome Brashear into the section. Dan, that'll be an interesting. We don't know much about that team.
Do not know much about it, but I'm sure that they are going to show up and they're going to be eager to start their new conference play with Upper St. Clair.
All right, it'll be their first trip ever here to Boyce Mayview Field. So you make the trip with us again. Look for us on TV. We have a bunch of other games that we'd like to get to as we go through this season with the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Again, on behalf of Dan Repeshak and the entire crew, I'm Keith James. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. The final, Bethel Park coming from behind to beat the Panthers today. The final 6-3, and we'll see you again soon.